Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, esports are becoming more and more popular every year. Um, I don't watch those competitions like that. The closest I ever came to any sort of wanting to do esports when I was in middle school, I played a lot of StarCraft 1. And I was the best in my friends group. I was probably hitting, like probably in the low hundreds actions per minute, and I thought I was really good. And then I saw an actual tournament, and I saw how fast those guys moved, and I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna bother with that. I like playing games for fun, and I don't think I could put that much effort into like training to be good at a game, or at least to get to that level of proficiency. Like at least with RTS games, you gotta move fast. Some of those pro guys, they can hit high 200s, low 300s in their actions per minute. So, but with esports in mind, um, I'm making this video because I saw that the Counter Strike Global Offensive tournaments that are happening, they're going to be doing a women's league for the game. This had some mixed reactions on social media, but I was doing some thinking about it, and I can sort of understand doing separate leagues. And it has nothing to do with proficiency in the game or anything like that. In most sort of competition sports, they separate between they have a men's league and a women's league. But they'll do that with all types of competition that don't really make sense. Like they're not physical sports, but they still separate leagues. I think the best example of this would be chess. There is no physical barrier in chess. It's all mental aptitude, it's all learning techniques and strategy, however it goes. I'm not good at chess. I know how all the pieces move and stuff like that, but that's just like with playing RTS games. You got people who've trained so long to do this at a competition level, not to mention chess is one of the oldest games ever. You've got centuries of metagame that you need to learn and all these weird techniques, and I'll play it for fun, but competition level, I wouldn't bother with anything like that. But with that in mind, chess does not require any sort of physical effort. It's all a mental game. So why do we separate those? If you look into, there have been studies done regarding mixing chess leagues, and one thing that was noted, they did these blind trials where they had women, top tier women chess players, and they would put them against random opponents. Usually they would be, it's a blind trial, you don't know who your opponent is. And they did tests where they had women play against women, women play against men, and they didn't know either way. And when they didn't know who they were playing against, mind you, this was back in like, I think it was the 70s when the study was done. If they didn't know who their opponent was, they played at the same level that they normally do. But when you had these women playing matches against men and they were made aware, they played at a lesser level. And the conclusion of the study was basically that, social implications, things like that. In science fields, you can see this a lot, where it's a lot of the times it's not what you would say a lack of confidence, but from social conditioning to make yourself appear less confident. Instead of saying, this is how this should be done, it's, I believe this is how this should be done. I think this is how this should be done. That can happen when you get into these sort of competition events. It's not blatant. It's not something that that's happening, but it's just a societal thing that's happened from, frankly, just years of conditioning in the societies that we live in. So take that with video games. I feel the same way. There's no physical difference with how you're controlling a game, whether you're using a gamepad, whether you're using keyboard and mouse, there's nothing that makes a man better than a woman at a video game. It's all how much time have you put in, how well do you know the techniques. That's it. That's it. Anybody can get good at a video game if they practice hours a day. But having a mixed league might lead to those same results. You might get those weird mental shifts, mental breaks that happen during competition. And that could happen both ways. I'd be willing to bet that if they had a mixed competition shooting event, you would see one of these two articles. You would see something along the lines of, if the man's team won, then you beat women. And if the woman's team won, then you lost to girls, is what the articles would say. It's how they would make fun of each other. Society's weird. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I can understand splitting leagues up. Now, hopefully, in my lifetime, these sorts of competitions, any sort of video game competition, just mix league. Everybody together. Because if you're good, you're good. And if you're not, you're not. That's fine. But splitting leagues doesn't make a difference to me. If people watch it, if people pay for tickets, I mean, that's why they do competitions. So let it happen. You know, if they decide to do mixed teams, sure. But if not, who cares? You know, it's esports. People have their favorite players. It's just like with regular sports. You got your favorite teams. So hopefully the people you root for win. But until then, just try and have a good day.